This is how you apply the GHJ External Rotation 80-20 stretch if your client has shoulder impingement. So what we've done is just taken a hand towel, draped it over our client's shoulder here, and then taken a very high load band, which you could use a belt or a strap that really doesn't have any elasticity, and place it over the top of the shoulder, and you want it to actually go over the top of the acromion here, kind of towards the coracoid process of the scapula. Way up in here. You don't want it coming down and pulling on the humerus here. You want it actually on the shoulder. Then you'll have your assistant. I'm going to have Dr. Gabby pull this band first posteriorly. So she's going to pull this band down and back. And we're going to check on our client for the feeling of pain. So how are you feeling here?
4.
4? Okay. So pull a little more posterior, Gabby. Good. And now let's go a little also inferiorly. So we're going to pull. So we have the scapula into a posteriorly tilted position already, right? That would have already happened, just like we taught in the other video. Then you're bringing the shoulder posterior and inferior. Go ahead and pull a little stronger. Good. Now, as we go into this stretch, tell me 1 to 10.
The stretch, 6.
6?
Yes.
Okay. Good. Stay pulling. So what are we doing here? And how does this help? Go ahead and relax, Dr. Gabby. Okay. So what have we done here? So what we've done is what happens is the client who has impingement in their shoulder, a couple of things are happening. One is that the humeral head itself begins to translate superior and anterior. And it can be mostly anterior, it can be superior also. It depends on the client. And this is generally the way that slap tears, superior labrum, anterior, posterior, are caused. So in this case, what we're going to do is we're going to fixate that humeral head from coming up in the labrum and colliding with the top of the labrum and jutting forward. Because if we take the shoulder into this position and start stretching, the client with the symptomatic shoulder, due to the humeral head or slap tears, their humeral head will be translating forward here. Okay, so we can actually begin to fixate that humeral head where we want it to be, down and staying in the center of the glenoid, versus, of course, translating forward or upward, anterior, superior. The other thing that can happen is the humeral head can rise up and begin to collide with the acromion in this position. So by us drawing the shoulder down, we're helping to create additional space between that humeral head and acromion, so we're not having impingement there either. And that's really the purpose of why you would apply this technique. And you'd only apply this technique for a client who has shoulder impingement. And you'd only do this after you have a lot of practice and you've worked with one of the fitness doctor elite professionals to get to the point to be able to do this method.